welcome to A Taste of Torah. I'm Rabbi Gabi Ruit, and our Torah portion this week is Parashat Toldot. Much of Parashat Toldot is a tale of twin brothers in perpetual conflict. Esau and Jacob's struggle begins in their mother's womb and continues throughout much of their lives. Esau is an earthy and impulsive young man who enjoys hunting and cooking and has little interest in study or following his father's God. His brother Jacob is bookish and, unlike Esau, likes to stay close to the family's camp. Their conflict becomes more intense when Jacob manipulates Esau, who is famished and what we might call hangry, to forfeit his birthright for a bowl of stew. And the conflict reaches a crescendo when their mother Rebekah conspires with Jacob to trick her husband into bestowing the blessing meant for Esau on Jacob instead. Our text tells us that Isaac loved Esau because he had a taste for game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. There are so many questions raised by this family dynamic. Why would Jacob covet Esau's birthright? Why would a mother conspire with one son against another? Why would these parents not love both their children? But the question that occupies much of our tradition is, why would Isaac love Esau? Esau doesn't have a good reputation in Jewish tradition. He rejects study, something Judaism holds dear. He intermarries. And he comes to represent the Roman Empire and ultimately Christianity in the minds of our rabbinic sages. Given how our tradition has represented Esau through the millennia, it's not surprising that our traditional sages would wonder why exactly Isaac was so bonded with Esau and not with Jacob, who will go on to become one of Judaism's forefathers. One answer comes from Hasidic Rabbi Yitzchak Ginsburgh, who's based in Israel. Rabbi Ginsburgh explains that Isaac is a digger of wells, both literally and figuratively. He spends much of this week's portion excavating wells to access water. But that tendency to dig deep illustrates Isaac's spiritual orientation as well. As Rabbi Ginsburgh puts it, Isaac sought to penetrate the inner substance of the world and expose the divine spark that vitalizes it. Ultimately, Isaac's mission in life was to expose that God is all and all is in God, which brings us to Isaac's blessing and his son Esau. Isaac saw tremendous potential in his powerful and impulsive son. He wanted to penetrate the crude surface of Esau's personality in order to access the living waters of divinity in Esau's soul. Isaac wanted to bless Esau because he believed his blessing would transform him. He believed that his blessing would unlock the divinity that vitalized Esau's crude exterior. Whether or not Isaac's plan would have worked, we will never know. With Rebekah's help, Jacob pilfered not only Esau's birthright, but his blessing as well. But something in Isaac's approach with Esau really appeals to me. How different would our world be if we saw everyone, even the crudest among us, as having such potential? How much kinder would life be if we all sought transformation through blessings instead of chastisements? Some food for thought on this Shabbat. Be sure to check out ravgabi.com for upcoming classes and programs. Shabbat Shalom.